So, Andrew, video evidence is a key piece of any prosecutor's case. Do you think that making it public will affect a future jury's decision, as was questioned today?
Well, certainly the defense is going to make an issue of it. The defense always claims fault no matter what the prosecution does. And in this case, they can't make an argument that exposing the public to these types of videos is going to.
He was just a warrior for Christ. See you in Valhalla, sir. We have the watch. We'll meet again in Valhalla.
Paint prospective jurors, but you have to balance that against
I can't believe we're like Kashyap Patel got on TV and said, "I'll see you in Valhalla. We have the watch. I'll see you in Valhalla." What the fuck?
Transparency in our court systems, transparency and the information that's come out the last 2 days tends to halt these crazy conspiracy theories we've seen and gives confidence to the public in our judicial system. The judge has taken protective measures to avoid tainting juries in the future. He's prevented the release of enhanced videos, and he's prevented the most graphic videos from being released to the public and streamed. And finally, we have the jury.
Really? I mean, what I saw was already pretty graphic. I've seen him die in slow motion so many times. Have you guys seen the videos with like the exploding microphone thing, and then they put another person with an exploding microphone, and it does the same thing with the shirt and the whole thing? It's identical. That's crazy. Maybe it was an exploding microphone. Do you think it was an exploding microphone?
The selection process itself, where the defense and the prosecution will both get an opportunity to question prospective jurors and make a determination of whether they can be fair and impartial. And if they can't, then they can be dismissed. But this is normal. This is normal, and we'll see complaints from the prosecution, from the defense on this.
So, Blake, for months and months since Charlie's murder, those of us who have watched what has gone on and seen what we know about Tyler Robinson and the shell casings, and what was written on them, and the text messages that we've read about why he did this.
He wrote that stuff. I forgot. Up, down, left, right, BA star. Is that what he did?
Now we're seeing that being presented as evidence in court. The prosecution read a statement from a TPUSA board member today to try and depict the motive for Kirk's killing based on his beliefs. The defense, as we just talked about, tried to get that letter thrown out. But just based on what you know and how you knew Charlie and the rest of the details of Tyler Robinson's communications about what he wanted to do ahead of time, now we know that the motive is being presented in court as fact.
Yes, I don't think, in truth, I don't think we've ever had too much doubt about what his motive.
I don't know. Tyler Robinson doesn't look gay to me. I think if I looked at these two guys, you said one of these guys is gay. Which one would you go with? Like, just imagine you didn't know who these two dudes were. Okay. You don't know who either of these guys are. Which one's gay? I'm like, yo, here's two pictures of two dudes. One of them is gay. Which one looks gay? All right, this is going to be that's going to be a great poll. I want to see how you guys end on this one. 62% of you say that Tyler Robinson did not do it. Holy crap. 62% of you think that Tyler Robinson didn't do it. Which guy looks gay? Robinson or Kirk? I just want to know your take on this. Both? You think both? Look, I don't know. You only can pick one. You can only pick one.
Was as soon as he came in, as soon as we got these text messages that were released in really the first.
Come on. Which one do you think? Did I already tell you which one I think?
Days after the shooting. Overall, I have to say, I feel this week of hearings, it's been a relief for myself, for others who knew Charlie here at the show and at Turning Point, because it's been such a glacial progress.
I mean, there he is with his beard. Hold on.
Or others who knew Charlie here at the show and at.
Look at this, my beard. She's happy. She's happy to be. This is my female human that accompanies me, because I like female women.
Turning Point, because it's been such a glacial process. We've had to wait 10 months for a preliminary hearing of probable cause. I think it's been pretty clear for 10 months. They have ample probable cause to go forward, but it's been delayed over and over. It was delayed. It was supposed to go on in May. They delayed it for a few matters to now. And we're asking people how long it will take to get to the trial itself. And we could be talking a year and a half still. One expert
we talked
to said early 28.
What is the excuse for that delay? How is that possible?
Welcome to America. Your right to a speedy trial has been revoked. There is no right to speedy trial. There's also freedom of speech. That's gone too. That's why. There's no more of that. We're done with that, doing that shit.
You'd have to talk to the lawyers about that one. I know it's a capital case. I know prosecutors and the judge, they seem very committed to.
That's it, because they're trying to kill him. They're trying to kill. Look, this dude killed one person, and they're trying to say that he's a menace to society, and they want to murder this Tyler Robinson kid. The burden is higher when you talk about capital offenses. So you're trying to hang this guy. You gonna try to hang this kid. You're the one going for the death penalty. That's why it's taking so long.
To making sure there's absolutely no grounds for this to be thrown out later, and so they're letting it be very methodical, and the defense is taking advantage of that to be as methodical as they can be as well. We're even seeing that with this hearing. I think all of the evidence in this hearing, some people were saying this could have been waived, this could have been completed in a day, but it's likely to take the entire week because the defense is objecting to everything. On Monday, we actually had this almost farcical scene that went on for like almost an hour about whether one of the witnesses could identify Tyler Robinson in the courtroom. They asked him, and then they said that was prejudicial or whatever. They go back and forth. They go into recess for a little bit so they can discuss it, and they finally come around 45 minutes later and say, can you identify Tyler Robinson? Yeah, it's the guy between the two defense lawyers seated right there. And so we've seen a lot of this, but nevertheless, I'd say I am relieved that this is happening because the real pain was nothing happening. Meanwhile, people are going crazy on the internet. They're throwing out incredibly vile attacks on Erica, Charlie's widow.
Like, I don't know. How come I'm not seeing any evidence for this kid? Like, you'd think that we would have a ton of evidence. Luigi Mangione, look, I don't know. Does it seem like there's no evidence with this kid? Like, we haven't seen anything? I started watching Charlie Kirk before I started watching you. I started watching Charlie Kirk before he started watching me. Keep it classy, not trashy, Jack. You're better than this. What do you mean trashy? What's trashy? They're the ones talking about him being gay. I just said which one looks gayer. What do you mean? How is that trashy? This is News Nation. I'm reacting to them. I didn't write this.
Other people at Turning Point, other people he knew. And I'm really grateful to see.
I love this shit. Like, they're the ones talking about, oh, he was gay, so he killed Charlie Kirk. I didn't write that. I'm not writing this. You're trashy for reacting to the guy saying that the dude is gay and that's why he killed Charlie Kirk.
See more of the evidence come out, see more of the process move.
Well, yeah, gay has a look, apparently. That's the joke. You understand? That's the joke.
Forward. We want justice in this case.
Yeah, I mean, the attacks on Erica and on Turning Point and on you and Andrew have been absolutely despicable and devoid of fact, that's for sure.
Devoid of fact. I haven't heard any facts yet, except that the trial's taking longer than they thought, and they got some camera footage of Tyler Robinson's car coming and going. Okay. Well, I have flight logs that says that Donald Trump was with Jeffrey Epstein during the times his accusers say that Donald Trump raped them. I have that evidence. We have the evidence. We have the flight logs that placed Donald Trump at the scene of several crimes with Jeffrey Epstein. And people are like, nope. No, he had nothing to do with it. He never even knew Jeffrey. Remember what Donald Trump said? He didn't even know Jeffrey Epstein. Why would you lie? Oh, what about these flight logs? Well, turns out I did know him, but I barely knew him. We just knew that we were both in Palm Beach. And that's it. Oh, so you didn't know the guy? Nah, not really. We barely knew each other. No, didn't know him. It's a hoax. And then it turns out that I did know him, but I kicked him out of my club. And then I did know him, but I was an FBI informant. Oh, no, I did know him, but I'm not in the Epstein files. Turns out he's in the Epstein files over 1 million times. Okay, but that's all because people talked about me and tried to frame me. That's because the Democrats have a time machine. They went back in time and wrote these things in the Epstein file. It's just like, we have the flight logs, we have the allegations, we have eyewitnesses, we have all of the shit that we need. And you're telling me Tyler Robinson is guilty because you have some blurry photos of some cars? Nothing else? How come I see cars? I don't see him with a gun. I never see a video of him walking with a gun. Where the fuck is the gun? Or even a bag. I never even see him with a bag. I've seen pictures of a dude running across but he doesn't have anything in his hands. And how I know that's him? We have all these accusations about Donald Trump. We even have Donald Trump admitting it. I grab him by the pussy. I break into the dressing room and look at their beautiful naked bodies without clothes on, the teenagers' bodies. My age limit is I wouldn't want to be seen with a 12-year-old. We have his own voice saying these things. And they're like, no, he's innocent. But that Tyler Robinson, he's guilty as sin. Look at all the evidence we have. What? There's more evidence. Like, there's an overwhelming mountain of evidence that Donald Trump was Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator in buying and selling and raping children. And yet, everyone wants to kill Luigi Mangione and Tyler Robinson, people against whom very little evidence exists.